The first 35 is in the rearview mirror. We can sit here and think about how the start has gone or hasn't gone and all those things, but at the end of the day, it's about tonight's game and, like I said, this next block here till the Olympic break. We have some big games. We've got a lot of home games, games where you can make up ground on teams. So, it's sort of that push here for us. And, I think we know what kind of team we have. We believe in the group here. And like I said, that next segment starts tonight. And, it's an opportunity for us to come out against a great team and get back to where we want to be.
That was Josh Morrissey this morning after morning skate as the Winnipeg Jets return from the holiday break and get ready to face the Minnesota Wild tonight. Hello, everyone. Hope you've had a fantastic holidays. I am Sara Lesky. He's Jamie Thomas. Happy to see a number of you in the chat already as we get you set for tonight's game.
I forgot how to do this.
It kind of feels as if we should be saying Happy New Year.
Yeah, I literally got up this morning. I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing today? And then I'm like, oh, yeah, it's game day.
Game day.
Yeah.
That's right.
So hopefully the Jets are off to, the players themselves are off to a much better idea of what they were doing today than I was, because that could be bad news if that turned out to be that way. Yeah, exactly, James. I've eaten so much food. I ate so many mint M&Ms. I'm done. I'm done. I actually found the last bag.
Yeah.
I drove around for probably an hour, which is embarrassing.
Did you really?
Yes. There's one bag left.
I knew that you liked them, but I didn't
because you have to
realize.
get the last one in before, because you're like, obviously you make resolutions that you have to stop eating so much candy. Some of us.
So many mint M&Ms.
So many. I probably smell like mint right now. That's what it is.
Over the next
shortbread cookies, yes.
Oh, delicious. Over the next 30 minutes, we will get you ready for tonight's game. We'll take you inside the room. I had the chance to catch up with Vladislav Namestnikov briefly for our bench interview. And then Jesse Pierce from NHL.com and Bar Down Beauties podcast is going to join us to get us set up with things from the Minnesota Wild end as well. So looking forward to these next 30 minutes as we try to get back into the routine of doing all of it. But
we got lots of games coming up. We'll get back in the routine
in short order. But we want to hear from all of you out there. How have your holidays been? Did you get any Jets gear? Are you coming to the game tonight? Let's get back into the habit of talking about Winnipeg Jets. Yeah. How were your holidays?
They were
other
good.
Than the mint chocolate chips.
That's kind of what they were good. So that part.
Your family will love hearing that.
Yeah, of course. Time with the family was so important and so great. Yes, as we, it's already like, can you go back to school?
That's where you're at.
Yeah. There's still another 10 days or whatever it is, so 7 days. Awesome. It was actually a great break. I'm refreshed. Are you refreshed? How were your holidays?
Good, low key.
Yeah, same.
But good. Did not get in as many Christmas movies as we typically do.
No, I missed on an Elf.
So yeah, we didn't get that one in either. We also did not get in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
What?
I know. So I don't know. We might be extending the Christmas holiday.
You should
movie
watch that
season.
tonight.
Just
the Canada Czech game was really good, actually, James. That was something else.
So lots to certainly talk about. Let's do a little refresher here on where things stand.
What happened
with the Jets? Since we have had that week break, they last played on the 21st against the Utah Mammoth. And where are they right now in terms of battling back? Refreshing as to where things
There it is. There's a reminder in case you forgot. 6 points out, but they do have a lot of games in hand on Utah. It's 6. You have 4 games in hand on Utah, but here's the thing: how many teams are you hopping over there? 5, 6.
Yeah. So that's why Josh's comments this morning about, you put the first 35, in the rearview mirror. But so, I mean, the sentiment from a number of people.
I like that. Must you remind us where they are? Sorry. I apologize. Surprise. That's where they are. That's what's happening.
Is that they have their work cut out for them now. And so no better way to get going than tonight. But Kyle Connor and Scott Arniel were asked this morning about pretty much resetting. You have that Christmas break, and I think that was the sentiment going into it. But Scott Arniel, after that game in Utah, talked about players really kind of needing to take stock, maybe look in the mirror, assess where things are at for themselves personally, enjoy some time away from the rink, reset, and then come back focused for what will be a push, because this next push is the one to the Olympic break. And there's going to be a lot of games. You're going to be seeing a lot of us over the next month and a bit.
A lot, very, very, very busy schedule. So as Sarah was saying, let's hear from Kyle Connor and Scott Arniel on what the break meant to them or what they did with it.
You're still seeing the guys, and it's not like we're just using the 4 days to come up with something new and all that. It's a break for a reason. You need a mental reset, and you need time for your body to reset. And everybody's different in how they approach those breaks, and maybe it's more time that they spend focusing on what they need to do some more. So it's very personal, I think, in a sense of those days. But a break in this year and the way the schedule is never a bad thing right now.
I did. I had 7 grandkids jumping around me the whole time, so it was nice. We always with family, and again, like I said to those guys, family and friends, wherever you're around. We gotta just clear our minds and get set for this next stretch here. So for me as well, it's important. Coaching staff that it's a grind. It's been a grind, and it's going to be a grind, especially with the Olympics and everything else that's been going on. You gotta just try to take some days to yourself and family and get away.
There you go. I don't know what day it would have been for you, but I think it was about Tuesday where I was like, you had got away and stopped thinking about hockey for a little bit. Now the World Juniors were coming up and stuff like that, but I got away. But I imagine for them, players and the coaching staff, not as easy to just reset and forget about everything that had happened beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, like anything, it's easier said than done. Same thing when we all talk about, okay, well, the starts. Why aren't the starts there?
Right.
Okay, well, it's easier said, obviously, than done. Otherwise,
because the start in Utah was so bad.
Yeah, again, first period was ugly.
And I don't mean to go back over it, but how does that not, if you're thinking, and Josh had said it in his media availability, it's not that easy for us to completely unplug.
Yeah.
As a professional athlete, it's easy for me. So I'm not playing games. I'm like, all right, 4 days not in the office. Let's do this. But,
mint M&Ms.
Mint M&Ms. I'm going to drive around forever till I get that last bag, which makes no sense. But for them, I imagine it must be hard last year, look at where they were, and now you look at this year. How does that not enter your mind? So I think for an athlete, that'd be very tough, especially when things aren't going well. But I would think after day 3 and 4, where you're not at the rink watching film or anything like that, it would be a little bit easier to unplug yourself. So Kyle Connor did point out the fact that it's different for everybody. It's more, individual in some aspects. So hopefully everybody got that refresher, and that certainly the physical part would be, resting your body would be so huge for them too. And 5 days of not doing anything would be great for them.
Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt that they would have still worked out throughout there, but for sure I would imagine that most weren't on the ice. Maybe they found ice. I think a number of them actually stayed in Winnipeg. I wondered if because of the long break, if many of them would have gone home, but I think a lot of them actually stayed here in town. One of the things that will be interesting to see, you're
Kevin.
coming.
5 days was too long. That's so nice, Kev.
Oh.
If this is the real Kevin Sawyer talking in there. I like James again. If Jets beat the Wild tonight, my heart will grow 3 sizes. See?
That's very nice. I like that one.
That's good. Yeah. Thank you, Matt, for the Merry Christmas to everybody as well, too. So going back to the whole point, it's just like the physical rest will be so huge for them, because obviously there's lots of bruises and stuff that they're working through.
But the mental one, I think as much, when you look at, there's been all the discussions about how this is a fragile group. At times you look at the struggles that they have, that wears on you as much as the physical aspect does. It really compounds, I think, with both of it. So, and I think that
being asked about it every day.
Yeah. But you and I were talking about before we came on as well, could there be an advantage to them starting at home? They've had the long break in between. It'd be fascinating to find out how these schedules are made. Minnesota, meanwhile, played until the 23rd. They went through a stretch of 8 games in 13 days, playing up until the 23rd. And then they flew in this morning, and Michael Russo, who does a great job covering them for The Athletic, has for years tweeted out that it was a crazy day for Minnesota. They had the 6:30 a.m. flight to Winnipeg. They play at 6 here tonight. Then they'll do customs, and they are scheduled, in quotations, to arrive at the hotel in Vegas, because of course World Juniors are going on in Minnesota, in St. Paul right now. So they are on the road until I believe it is January 9th. They're scheduled to arrive in Vegas at 2:30 a.m. Central. From wake up to bedtime, basically a 22-hour day. Because of that schedule, they won't practice tomorrow and so on. But that benefit of being able
I'm trying to feel bad for them. trying really hard.
I mean,
I feel bad for Russo.
well, I'm not sure if
Maybe he's
Michael's
not-
here. Maybe he didn't travel for this one. But
Then I don't feel bad for Russo.
what I do think is that hopefully we talk a lot about the first periods being a struggle for the Jets through those first 35 games, that perhaps they are able to take advantage of the fact they've had a little bit of the longer break, but then also that they're playing at home. They were able to wake up in their own beds this morning, come down here, have breakfast, go through your regular routine. It's a little bit more like a preseason game for Minnesota in the sense of their schedule.
Yeah, and I think there is some. I remember a few years back, the Jets had to fly to Chicago on the 27th and didn't play that well. It's not easy. It's a lot easier to be here than it is for the team to fly in. So Mike Roos just broke that down on how tough that's going to be. So maybe there is a tiny bit of an advantage. But I mean, something we're going to talk about Jesse Pierce a little bit later. Minnesota's defending is next level right now. It's very much what Winnipeg was last year. It is hard to score on them. They already have 7 shutouts this year.
Yeah, which is incredible.
And that's one off the franchise record. And there's still like, gosh knows how many more games left. So Bailey, the intern, had just tweeted or messaged that she would get a Stanimal tattoo if the Jets win on her birthday.
For it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is a big commitment.
No
Bailey.
kidding.
That is huge.
All right.
Okay.
Well, and also happy birthday.
Yeah.
Bailey.
Yeah.
Let's add that in.
Exactly. So
All right.
that is a big commitment.
Jamie will sing for us at the end of the show.
You don't want that? That is not a birthday present for anybody.
Just a reminder, Jesse Pierce is going to join us at 12:50 to talk more about this Wild team. I think I'd love to hear from those of you in the chat right now. What is something that you're watching for tonight with this Winnipeg Jets team? For me, one of the things I'd like to see is
so obvious.
Okay, go.
The start.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
what
not
else?
just how well they come out of the gate.
Yeah.
Can they get on the scoreboard first? Can they get that first goal? Because it has been, it's very different when they score first. It's happened 18 times. They're 13-4-1.
Right.
When they are trailing first, they are 2-13-2. And they have the second lowest points percentage when giving up the first goal in the league. So it's one of those ones.
So that's the 35 games are behind you.
That's right.
Yeah. That doesn't matter anymore.
Okay, that's right. Turning the page.
But like they said,
we've started a new year early.
No, go offense more. Yes, that's fair. Like now they talk about segments. So this up to the Christmas break. Now it's up to the Olympic break. So I believe that means all that other stuff doesn't matter. What happens to the Olympic break now?
There you go. 21 games in the next 40 days, I believe, is what it is before the Olympic break.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at what the projected lines are, because we are expecting to see some changes compared to what we saw in that last game against Utah.
Arnie did not listen to anything I said.
You know, we really need to talk to him about that.
Oh,
I wonder if we
I
could
went into his
pre-tape
office. I was
something
going
with
to chew
him.
him out, and then I'm like, nah.
Because what did you want to see happen? Because in the last game, what was the top line?
I wanted to see
how
Nyquist.
it started.
I want to see it was Connor Scheifele Nyquist. I wanted to see that hang around for a little bit.
Yeah, and how long did it last for?
Well, I looked on Natural Stat Trick 5v5.
Yeah,
they were together for just over 5 minutes.
Right.
I follow play with Connor Scheifele for a bit, and then of course at the top line that you see there, Connor Scheifele, Velarde. They played just under 6 minutes together. So there's a lot of combinations. Exactly. They changed my third line. Same thing. Yes, I follows up to the right side on the second line. That's what I'm talking about. Don't touch the third line. So Arnie must have heard me, obviously, because now I know that people actually watch us.
And he says, and
I
just
said,
out of spite,
yeah,
he was going to.
He's like, I'll show you. I coach this team. What do you do?
You'll look so
the same question my kids ask me.
No
what is it that you do?
No changes up front in terms of personnel.
Yeah.
On the blue line, Luke Schendra's back in place of Colin Miller. But let's take a look at. Let's break these lines down quickly while we go through that top line. I mean, now that it's been reunited, as we know, they have been the drivers hands down. Without it, they are on pace. All three of them for career years. Kyle Connor, Mark Scheifele, both tied for team lead with 17 goals, 43 points apiece. Velarde is right behind them, 16 goals, 31 points. Kyle Connor getting the power play goal. In Utah. He had
second this year.
But second this year, you don't see a lot of goals remarkably from Kyle with the man advantage. But Kyle was asked this morning, so a fairly decent length of scrum. You can catch the entire scrum on the Winnipeg Jets website. And he was asked about the job that top line alongside Scheifele and Velarde have done so far. And
what else can you possibly do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kyle?
Here was his answer.
Yeah, we can do a lot more. There's always room to improve. We can, elevate our game that much more. We can bring, guys into the fight. We can, try to lead and push other guys as well. There's in this league, you got to never be satisfied. And so I think, there's tons of chances this year, even, I miss simple assignments that, you can't be better. You're not going to sit here and say you played a perfect game. So that's where my mindset's at. Need to be better. Got to bring everybody along. And I know Shife's the same way. He's the hardest working guy I know on this team and pushes everybody. So that's kind of the leader and the guy that we follow a lot of times too.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, actually, one of the things that Kyle had said going into the season was that he wanted to take on more of a leadership role, wanted to continue to grow in that position. And I think he really has. Obviously, we've seen it on the ice as he continues to be one of the drivers of this team. But I feel as if off the ice, too, that with all of his answers, they're becoming more insightful and more engaging. So I think
more experience plays a large role in being in the NHL for a long time, and then probably figuring out how to deal with us on a daily basis. But I agree with you. Like the way, if you ask the right question, Kyle will give you a very good answer and a very elaborate answer too. So I enjoyed that answer. I knew he would say they can do more, but he got a lot more into what else they can do.
Yeah.
Which is, from an outsider's perspective, I'm like, what else can they do? Like there's not much.
Right.
Everyone else needs to do a little bit more of what they're doing, not Kyle, Scheifele, and
right.
Bernard
And I think that was about trying to bring them along.
Yeah.
Bring everybody along with them. Maybe see some drivers on some other lines. That second line, Alex Iafallo is going to be on this time around. Do you like that idea of him beside Cole Perfetti and Vlad Namestnikov?
Well, what comes with Iafallo is pressure on the defense and on the offensive end of the ice. He's great at getting pucks, winning battles. Then I think sometimes that's certainly what somebody like Cole Perfetti needs on his line. But again, this is more of just trying to get other people going here. That's all it is. So wherever they put Alex Iafallo, you're not worried because you know what he's going to do. He's not going to change his game at all. So it's just what he can add to that line. So that's Vladislav Namestnikov and Cole Perfetti have to get going here, and whatever line combination they have to do to get that out of them. You can't stop trying because that second line needs to start going here. And I'm clear and understanding that they know that as well.
Yeah. Do you want to discuss the third line, or is this you just want to bypass it?
I think we should talk about it.
All right, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Tanner Pearson joins it.
Okay, so Tanner Pearson, you're adding size. I really liked his game the last two games before the holiday break.
Yeah.
And so I don't mind it. Like obviously you want to leave Iafallo there, but at the same time, I've really liked what Tanner Pearson has brought to the Jets since his healthy scratch time. And so size is important on that line when you need to grind the other team, and puck possession is so important against a team like Minnesota. Obviously, the puck being in the offensive end, this is more important. You need to defend well. That third line really has to be instrumental in shutting down somebody like Kirill Kaprizov. But there's like so much. Minnesota has a lot of depth to it. So, but to answer your question in a long-winded way, I don't mind it.
Okay, in the fourth line, so Gus Nyquist returns to it,
right,
alongside Nino and Jonathan Taves.
Yeah, like those are. Like there's the same message or the same story. Like just those three have to get going in some way. The fourth line is not supposed to give you offense, but everybody in the bottom nine has to start producing a little bit more. I think we're starting to see, Adam Lowry's hard on himself after the loss against Utah. Thought he has to do more. Made a mistake in the neutral zone going for a hit that led to the game-winning goal. So I like the accountability part, but I think Lowry's game is starting to round into form here slowly, considering what he's been through already with the hip surgery and not having an off season. So, I mean, that line gets going, but everyone here in the bottom nine, something has to start moving here. This can't keep being the top line show going forward.
Yeah.
And I'm not being captain. I'm being totally Captain Obvious in that one. But if they're going to make a move, jump past all those players and start making, start winning some games here, it has to be other people.
Yeah.
Period.
I think the roster freeze is still on right now as well.
Yeah.
It's just something to keep an eye on
Fair.
or to be aware of as well. And just before we bring in Jesse Pierce, this
That's a fair
third
question.
meeting.
I did not get a bad haircut. I'm just like I'm pushing product. Even though the holiday's over.
Be great if it was because of a bad haircut.
Oh. But if I have this toque on for the next 2 weeks, it's a bad haircut.
Just before Jesse joins us, this third meeting of the season between the Wild and the Jets. First one, Winnipeg won in Minnesota, 4-3 overtime win. We don't like to discuss the last time that the Wild were here.
No, we won't say the word.
Okay.
Yeah.
But 3-0 was the score. I didn't say the word.
Offense was lacking.
Lacking
there was
in a game. Minnesota comes into this game having lost their last 2 games, despite the heater that they've been on. Obviously, throughout the month of November and December, they lost their last 2 games to Colorado and Nashville.
Okay,
all right.
So I've always been fascinated by Jessie Pierce because of her energy levels, and I've always wondered if she's like that all the time. And I've texted her a couple of times, and the answer is yes. Like, she even has energy in her text messages, which it comes through, which is fascinating to me because
you do not.
My daughter keeps on. I can't tell if you're mad whenever I text, so I have to send stupid emojis all the time just so my daughter understands what I'm coming through. But Jessie, you text her, you can feel she's happy and she has energy in that. So that is a gift. So Merry Christmas, Jessie.
Merry Christmas. Thank you. I thought you brought some good energy this morning with the good morning text, and here's the link.
Did you know it was like the good morning, the Vietnam kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. So you read me on that one. Thank you.
Okay, so Jessie, before we get going on
this is
and
very
talk
important
all
question.
Things hockey.
This is very important.
Yes.
Did I correctly see a tweet from you that you just recently watched Die Hard for the first time?
I did. It's never, I know. And you know what, though? I'm on board with it being a Christmas film. It can now be added to my repetition. We did Die Hard 2 the Christmas night. So Christmas Eve night was Die Hard. Christmas day night was Die Hard 2. Last night we went to bed early because we've been exhausted. But we're going to go back. I'm going to see Die Hard 3 because people actually said that's one of their favorites. Right? Am I correct on that?
Yeah, I know.
Good one? No?
I think the first
two are my favorite.
Okay.
As they get higher in numbers, I can't remember exactly 3, but I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I don't remember
they
any of
really
those ones. No.
Naturally. Okay. Noted.
Pass on
Noted.
those ones. But it's great to hear that you have joined the Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
It's fun.
Feeling, because that's our army. Because I'm a firm believer in that.
I'm in.
Hey,
lock it in.
Hard not to ask about this.
Oh boy.
Has it settled in at all that Quinn Hughes is a Minnesota Wild?
No. It still feels like a fever dream here in Minnesota. And it's funny, like we chatted with Quinn before the break, the morning skate when they played the Nashville Predators on the 23rd, because fans are still so elated. Every time he touches the puck, every time his name is mentioned. I mean, Game Day Ops has really leaned into it, but you know, he still continues to be taken aback. He's like, I know it's a hockey state, but my gosh, I'm just shocked every time that the fans are so wild. So I think it's starting to settle in as he continues to settle into his new team here. But it's been a ton of fun, to say the least, in the past 2 weeks here.
Yeah, understandably so. When we think of the Minnesota Wild, obviously Kirill Kaprizov is one that for so long has been front and center.
And now Quinn Hughes.
Yes. Of course. So we think about it from an offensive standpoint with Kaprizov. But the defending that this team has done as a whole, I mean, obviously starting in net, but then on out, when did that really become a mainstay for this team and this organization?
I mean, it's been a Jacques Lemaire implementation, right? That was his bread and butter, his tried and true from the very beginning of the organization.
For sure.
But I think
that was a hard watch back then.
Yeah, it really
was tough. It was tough, right?
That was not holiday hockey at all. That was like whenever Minnesota came down, like, oh boy, get ready for 2-1. This is gonna be a real fun one tonight.
But this is different.
It is, because you're doing both, right? Like the defense has bought into locking in, but they're very offensive too. They're not afraid. Even prior to Quinn Hughes, Brock Faber was starting to be that way. Jonas Brodin can skate the puck and have those entries and those breakouts. So it's been a transition to be a more offensive, defensively stout team, but they can shut opponents down too. When the goals aren't coming like they have been in spurts and like they do for most NHL teams, Brock Faber is a guy back there. Jared Spurgeon, a mainstay. Zach Bogosian as well. And then you'd mentioned the tendies. You got got a dual hit with
Oh.
Jesper Velstad, who I know is going tonight, and Philip Gustafsson handling it on their own with the shutouts nonstop. You love to see it. Sorry, guys, but you do. It's been fun because you get a little bit of both, right? Long gone are the boring. You still get the sexy goals. You still get the puck movement. But the defense has really been top notch. That helped turn this thing around starting back in November.
Okay, so even going further to Sarah's question, when you think Wild, you're Kaprizov, you are now Quinn Hughes, but kind of like an unsung hero outside of Minnesota, I imagine, is Matt Boldy. Can you talk about how the level of importance that he has to the organization because he's such an up and rising star?
Oh my gosh, he's going to be a superstar in this league. He's going to score 50 goals, possibly this year. I predicted that, so I'm going to toot my own horn when if that happens.
Done, Jesse.
Yes, thank you. Like, I was excited when they drafted now. Admittedly so, I'm a USA hockey girl, so I'd been watching him through the program and at World Junior, so I knew the elite level of skill that was going to be obtained. But in the past, even starting in the middle of last year, the maturity that Matt Boldy has shown just on the ice and off, and kind of that growth and that next step development and finding that consistency and using that frame. I mean, he's a big dude. He's got to use that frame in addition to the way that he can skate and puck handle. He's incredible. Again, you mentioned it. He's an up and coming superstar in this league, no doubt. And it's going to be a great, again, 1-2 punch with Kirill Kaprizov, having separated on lines and get that secondary scoring as well from Bolds.
You mentioned that you are a USA hockey fan, understandably so. Bill Guerin, obviously general manager for Team USA for the upcoming Olympics. We talk about the Olympics and the potential rosters a lot up here, which will not be shocking to you. I know, regarding in particular Team Canada and Team USA, is that something that's being discussed a lot in Minnesota? And do you think that there is a Bill Guerin bump maybe for
from
Americans?
opposing teams, the Americans, opposing players?
When he comes when he comes to town and they know he might be watching.
I mean, not that Zach Werenski needed an extra bump, but certainly when he was here in town with Columbus, right? You definitely see that guy showing off and showing out a little bit more. It's fun. I mean, luckily, Bill Guerin doesn't have to go very far either. The Minnesota Wild are now plump full of top USA talent with, as we mentioned, Bolds, Fabes. Plus, there's a bunch of Sweden. But it's fun. It's fun to watch Billy maneuver, managing that, and I'm sure that's got to be a trials and tribulation, but still make the move like the Quinn Hughes situation, right? Like, yeah, I'm just going to give him a call. So I think you definitely have guys who are wanting to be on that team, right? And understandably, it's the first time in forever that you are going to get a best on best. We haven't seen the McKinnons and the Crosbys together and the McCarrs in this, aside from Four Nations last year. So you got that taste. I'm excited. I cannot wait. We've got World Juniors in town too, guys, which I'm loving all of the international flair and flavor. Plus, it gives a little bit of extra chirps during hockey season, which is never a bad thing either, I don't think.
Okay, last one before we let you go. What do you like? It's the Wild break wasn't as long as the Jets, but what are you looking at to see from them in the first period or throughout this game tonight?
I mean, they're coming off of 2 losses. They got a point against Nashville on the 23rd, but then they had fallen pretty mightily to Colorado, and they just looked tired. And naturally, again, this schedule, as I'm sure you guys have discussed and know, it's brutal, right? That Olympic break really kind of throws so many games in before Christmas. So I'm looking for them to come out with a little bit of speed and a little bit of legs, but also I'm aware it's the first game back after break, right? There were cookies consumed. There was eggnog drank, I'm sure, too, plenty. But you need to see Minnesota come out with a little bit more gung-ho than they did in their final 2 games prior to the break. It should be a good tilt. I'm looking for a good tilt overall, ladies and gents.
Well, lots of hockey to watch on television, lots of hockey in your backyard, obviously, as well. Minnesota Wild on the road for a couple of weeks, it feels like, with the World Juniors going on. But we will be following along, Jesse, with all of your coverage because you are one of our favorites, not only to have on, but to be able to keep up to date with all things Wild.
Appreciate you. Enjoy the game.
Thanks, Jesse.
Happy holidays.
See? Tons of energy.
She does. She's great.
Okay, what about
Love
these
her
tubes, by
passion
the
for
way?
it. Okay. So quickly, and then we'll hear from Vlad Namestnikov.
Oh, yeah, right.
These toques, all in stock toques,
What about this bad boy?
30% off. Okay, which one do you like better on Jamie? Do you like it with the pom-pom?
Correct. Do you like the pom-pom or this bad? Look at this guy. That's a moose, right? I don't
It
have my
is.
Glasses on.
It is.
What is that?
30% off, offer valid through December 29th.
Hold on.
You can, there you go. Which
This
one?
one, this one's way more enjoyable. Number 1, see?
There you go.
Pom. See, I don't know.
All right. We heard from Jesse about how the Wild need to get things going, and obviously the holiday break. It was something that I asked Vlad Namestnikov about as well. First day back, obviously, after the holiday break. As first and foremost, how was the break for you?
It was good. It was good, 5 days, just to kind of hang out with friends and family and kind of mentally kind of reset and physically as well. So it was good. It was a good couple of days.
Okay, what was the highlight?
I don't know, just kind of spending it with family, I guess, and friends, and went to a couple dinners with teammates, and I think it was just a good time.
You said the reset be important for it. Do you feel after the morning skate today, do you get that sense from guys that there was a bit of a reset over this week?
Yeah, for sure. It's been a very condensed schedule, very, very hard on the body and mentally, so it was definitely good to kind of reset and get those couple of days off.
What's the biggest challenge going into this next stretch? I know people have talked, and obviously with that compressed schedule and that race now to the holiday or to the Olympic break.
Yeah, it doesn't get easier. The schedule is pretty crazy. I actually took a look at it the other day, so it's games every other day.
Yeah, what was your first thought when you looked at it?
It's crazy, but everyone's in the same boat, so you can't really use that as an excuse. But it's gonna be a battle, but we gotta get on the right track and get some wins here.
If there's one element of this team's game that you want to see reset and get off to a good start tonight against Minnesota, what would it be?
I think just play with confidence. We're a very, very good team, and it's hard to play against us. We just gotta get that confidence back and play to our structure, and then we'll be good.
How different does this Minnesota team look with Quinn Hughes on it?
We haven't seen him yet, but I mean, he's a great player, one of the best defensemen in the league, so we have to be aware of him when he's on the ice, but at the same time, I think we just got to focus on our game and the way we play.
And for you personally, when you focus on your game, what does that look like? What is it that you're keying in on?
Defense first, and then we take it to offense. We create those turnovers from the right plays and take it to the offense. And once we do that, it's hard to defend us. We like to cycle and stuff, so just do that.
Great to have you back.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry about that.
Good defense.
You guys need to hear that anyway, so it was not funny at all.
It was. It was.
Okay, start over. Matt, this is for you.
There you go. And
do you remember watching when kids put on toques and they like walk around like this and they can't see?
Well, especially when it's cold out.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy.
There you go.
What's left? Let's look at the lines one more time. How about that?
Okay.
We're not like when we don't have a deadline with Huss's show, it's weird.
I know.
I
Just
feel like
keep
we're
going.
up against it now. It's just like we can go forever.
We could.
Look at those lines.
Wow. We've gone next level. Now Jamie's
now
going into his
like
radio announcer.
This is spitting chicklets. This is how they hold on to things. This is like ground control podcast. Anyways, take a look at those lines.
Yeah. So we've seen some changes in terms of personnel. Luke Shen draws back into the lineup in place of Colin Miller when you're comparing this lineup versus the team's last game against Utah. Some changes to all four lines in terms of the structure of them. Again, based on what we saw last time, but the reuniting of the top line, obviously they want to get things going quickly. We hopefully jump on a very tired Minnesota team that has not had as long of a break as Winnipeg has and had to fly in this morning. They were on a flight at 6:30 a.m.
We don't feel bad for them though.
You do not. No.
That's a good one. Bear better suited for Canada. I like the idea of, but they can't. He can't though. That's the problem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he can. He will. Morgan Barron.
We need to stop this only because you're walking around with the microphone now.
Yeah, you're right. So, but we should show, anyways. Before the holidays, we released this podcast, Ground Control. I stole the idea. I take no credit for it whatsoever. I just thought it'd be fun to eat hot chicken wings and ask Kevin Sawyer questions about fighting and his job currently as the color analyst for the Winnipeg Jets on TSN 3. Here's a snippet of the podcast.
Number 4. So this has got 5 peppers level to it.
Look at, why do they just rub so?
I don't know why I put so much on either.
Ain't so bad. Ain't so bad. Kelly Chase, who is
okay.
Never mind.
Well, you know what?
It was good.
The great news is that you can go to YouTube and you can watch it in its entirety. We just didn't want to spoil it. Just a little teaser.
I asked Kevin one time, so when he first came to the NHL, you know, your parents are excited you made the NHL, but the whole idea that he had to fight when he was in the NHL, I'm like, how'd your mom take that? He gave me a really good answer about how not happy she was about that.
I imagine.
Yeah.
I can't see how moms would be.
No. And she still watches his games. Can you believe that?
Well, of course.
That's
I do.
nice.
Yeah. My
Some
parents
people
do that.
Some loved people watch you when you do things. Some
You know,
parents
the way
always
that
do.
is. They always do.
Do you know that my mom still listens to Paul Edmonds on CJOB, even though I've been off?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Paul does a great job, as
Yeah.
does Mitchell Clinton.
They do, right?
So don't forget that you can listen
Maybe
to
my mom
them.
likes Mitchell Clinton more than me.
That is a whole nother show.
Okay.
And perhaps a whole podcast as well.
Okay.
Don't forget that you can listen, of course, the pregame show and then the entire broadcast with Paul Edmonds, Mitchell Clinton today on CJOB. Tonight's game is a 6:00 game. It is on Sportsnet. Don't forget
Yes.
about that as well. Looking forward to this as we kick off 2 home games before the Jets head back out on the road tonight against Minnesota. Then they play Monday at home against Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and the Edmonton Oilers. Gene Principe
He's going to join us
is going to join us. So
Yeah.
looking forward to having that.
remotely. He will not be in. He's not coming here because it's a prime game.
Oh, okay.
But he
So
said he would do it. He
that's
guaranteed me.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I always love Gene, obviously very familiar to Winnipeg sports fans from his years here in the market back in the 90s as well.
Should we
So
ask him some sports line questions again, or should we save?
maybe send some through to us if you want to hear from them.
Please do.
But anyways, that is it for today. Connor Hellebuck, Jesper Wallstedt is in net for Minnesota. Should be a good one. Divisional matchup. The Jets come in here. It is a sprint to the Olympics, as Adam Lowry said, and it kicks off tonight against the Minnesota Wild.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks so much for checking in. Have a great day, everyone.